Exploring Your Colors Personality Test. Below are incomplete sentences that describe people. Each sentence has four possible endings. Give 4 points to the phrase that is most like you, 3 points to the phrase that is next most like you, 2 points to the next phrase, and 1 point to the phrase that is least like you. It's not like you at all. So you'll see four phrases. One of them, you're like, that's me. Then the third one is like, that's kind of me, but not as much as this first one. I'm going to give that a 3. So the one that's most like me, I'm going to give 4 points. 3 points to the one that is next most like you, 2 points to the phrase that's in the middle, and 1 point to the phrase you're like, that is not me at all. Okay, so you should have your sheet of paper ready, your pen or pencil ready, or you can have a document open and track your responses. Each of the 11 sentences have 4 responses. So for A, B, C, and D, you need to rank 4, 3, 2, 1, depending on which of those phrases is most like you, next most like you, kind of like you, and least like you. Number 1, when I make decisions, A, I do it quickly and go with the first impressions. B, I think about it, consider the options, and then decide. C, I listen to my feelings and consider how my decisions will affect the others. D, I take it seriously and always try to make the right decision. When I make decisions, which of those statements is most like you? Give it a 4. Which of those statements is next most like you? Give it a 3. Which of those statements is the next most like you? That will receive a 2. And one of those doesn't describe you at all. So give that a 1. Each one of those letters should have a number in front of it. There should be a number in front of A number in front of B, a number in front of C, and a number in front of D. You should have the numbers 4, 3, 2, 1 for each of those numbers. Number 2, the best way for others to show me they care about me is to A, do fun things with me. B, give me space to be myself. C, spend time with me doing whatever. D, do what I want to do, not let me down or go back on their word. 4, 3, 2, 1. Which of those is most like you? Give it a 4. Which one of those is not like you at all? I mean, completely not you. It should receive a 1. Number 3. When I'm with my friends, I like to provide A, the excitement, the fun, the jokes. B, questions, answers, a logical way of looking at things. C, concern for others, a lot of caring. D, the planning, a sense of security, a good standard. When I'm with my friends, I like to provide A, B, C, D. Which one of those is not like you at all? Give it a 1. Which one of those is the most like you? It should receive a 4. And then the 3 is the next most like you. And then the 2 is somewhat not really you, but it's not the least like you. Number 4, I like to act on a moment's notice, do risky things, provide answers, or give thought to people's questions. That's B. C, I like to help maintain a sense of harmony and togetherness. D, I like to be responsible, dependable, and helpful to others. So as you're trying to make up your mind and you're like, I really can't decide, think of examples, think of times in your life, think of stories, think of when you are with family or friends. So that will help you narrow which one of these is the most like you. Which one of these is the least like you? Number 5, one thing I am really good at is acting courageously. A. One thing I am really good at is B. Thinking. C. One thing I'm really good at is being sensitive. D. One thing I am really good at is D. Organizing. A, B, C, D. Which one of those is most like you that will receive a 4, which is least like you that should receive a 1? Number 5. Number 6. Friends who know me best would say I am A, competitive, B, reserved, thoughtful, C, emotional, friendly, D, neat, prepared. So the friends who know you best, and this friend could be a brother or a sister. You say, well, I don't have many friends. Well, what would your older brother or your sister say? Would they say you are always competitive, trying to compete with them? You always want to win? You're reserved, you're quiet, you're thoughtful, don't talk a lot. Emotional, you're the friend who cries on the movies, or you're neat and prepared. Or maybe you don't cry on the movies, but you're friendly. You'll go up to a new crowd and say, hey, and meet strangers. You're not afraid to meet someone. Or right now, you're neat and prepared. So which one of those is most like you, least like you? 7, my basic approach to life is A, take one day at a time and have fun. B, figure out what life is all about. C, to help others and be happy and succeed. D, to plan for the future and make it as good as possible. My basic approach to life. Which one of these is the most like you? Which is the least like you? Take one day at a time, have fun, figure it out, what is life all about, help others and be happy and succeed, to plan for the future and make it as good as possible. 8, when I'm feeling discouraged or down in the dumps, I often become rude, mad, and sometimes even mean. When I'm feeling discouraged, I withdraw. That's B. I don't talk very much and try to think my way out of the problem. C, I feel emotional, am sad, and usually like to talk it over with someone close to me. D, I try to figure out what's causing the problem and fix it. So when I'm feeling discouraged or down in the dumps, A, B, C, D, 4, 3, 2, 1, which is least like you? That's a 1. The next least like you, that's a 2, which is most like you, that's a 4. And what is the next most like you? That is a 3. We're almost done. 3 more. All right. I feel good about myself when A, I can do things that are difficult. B, I can solve problems or figure things out. C, I can help other people. D, I am appreciated or rewarded for things I do. I feel good about myself when A, B, C, or D. Which of these is most like you? Which is least like you? Number 10. Teachers at school who saw me when I wasn't at my best behavior might describe me as A, rowdy or a little wild. B, arrogant. C, talkative. D, someone who wants my way, dominant, worrying. This is how teachers who saw you when you wasn't on your best behavior, maybe you are having a bad day. You say, well, I'm always on my best behavior. Yeah, maybe, you were upset. So when you get upset, how is it that you respond? You weren't on your best behavior. This could have been recently, or maybe you were in 5th grade. Which are the ways to describe you? And if you need to use the dictionary to look up any one of these words, make sure you feel free to do so. So arrogant, that's conceited. You're feeling conceited. And 11, teachers at school who like me and whose class I do pretty well. So think about the teachers who like you and you've done well in their classes. How would they describe you? You're charming, a natural leader, clever, someone who's fun to have around. How would teachers, you think about teachers, not your friends. B, your teachers who really like you, they'd say, this is a thoughtful student, somebody who has good answers, someone who likes to figure out problems. And C, this student is nice, friendly, someone who gets along with others, and is helpful to the teacher and others. D, how would your teachers in the past describe you? This student is neat, organized, prepared, someone who does assignments and is a good student. Okay, now it's time for us to tally these responses. So on this sheet of paper you have, you can use the chart provided. Take a look at the chart provided. I'll put the link in the chat so that you can access this chart. And you can make a copy. Remember, file, make a copy if you want to access it through the Google link, or you can just create this chart on your own piece of paper. And number 1 to 11, and go ahead and transfer the numbers. So for number 1, what did you give A 4? Place it here. Did you give B a 3? Did you give C a 2? D a 1? Go ahead and transfer all of your numbers at this time. And then you're going to total your column and place the results in the blank. So you're going to total, add up these numbers, and whatever number you have here, place it in A. Whatever is you add up all of these numbers, place it in B. Add up all of the C's. What's the total? Place the number here. Add up all of the numbers for D. What's the total? And it is here for D. Go ahead and do that and rank order based on the highest numbers. Go ahead and take a moment to do this.